final portion is down here at the bottom with these two semi-word problems, but they're not necessarily word problems. Example 5 says, find the sum. This is a word you should know. And my pens are running out of ink. Oh, I think this was one I put on the side as a dud. Sum means it is an addition problem. So I'm finding the sum of 8p squared minus 2p plus 15 and 11 minus 2p squared minus 1. Pretty sure there's a typo here. Let's make that 11p. All right, now, so that's 11p minus 2p squared minus 1. There was your typo. I'm going to do the stacking method. You could do the horizontal method. It's up to you, whichever is easiest. So I start with my 8p squared. Again, I'm going to go ahead and think standard so I don't have to think about it at the end. And the match over here is negative 2p squared. And then we move on to negative 2p because it's the next highest power out of my variables. And then right here to 11p, and that's a positive 11p, so I need to make sure to put plus 11p. Lastly, we have my constant of plus 15 and a constant over here of negative 1. Again, we saw earlier it said the word sum, and we know sum means to add, so I'm going to go ahead and put my big plus sign over here so I don't forget. And I'm going to add vertically. 8p squared plus negative 2p squared is 6p squared. Negative 2p plus 11p is positive 9p. And 15 plus negative 1 is positive 14. All right. Over here on example 6, notice it says subtract this polynomial from this polynomial. So actually, the way it's worded, this is going to be the polynomial I start with, and I'm taking this away from this one. Again, I'm going to stack. Feel free to do horizontally. So again, this is the one I'm starting with because it's saying subtract from. So I'm starting with w to the third power, w cubed. Notice in my other polynomial, there is no w cubed. So I'm going to go ahead and put that placeholder of 0 right there. And if you want to, you could do 0w cubed if that makes you feel more comfortable. But really, 0 is 0. It's not necessary. It's just our placeholder. After the cubed comes my squared, so plus 6w squared. And I look at my other polynomial, and there is one, and it's right here. So plus, because it's a positive, 2w squared. Moving on, normally I'd go 3, 2, 1. There is no 1. I'm going to check if there's a 1 in the other polynomial to know if I need to put a placeholder or not. And there is. There's actually a negative 5w to the first power. There's no regular w to the first power here. So I'm going to put a placeholder of 0w and then put minus 5w here. Now, the reason I went ahead and did this before getting to the constant is, again, because I'm thinking ahead. I want this to end up being in standard form when I'm finished with the problem. So standard form would naturally say to the third power, to the second power, to the first power, and then my constants, or the numbers without variables. All right, so lastly, now we move on to the constant. And we have -2. Don't have me. And we have +10 in it. So plus 10. We go back to the meaning of subtract, which means minus, and we do our math. W to the third power minus 0w to the third power just leaves me with w to the third power. 6w to the second power minus 2w to the second power leaves me with positive 8w. Oops, sorry, not 8w. I was subtracting. 6 minus 2 is 4w to the second power. And then we have 0 minus -5w. Again, 0w minus -5w, which is actually a positive 5w. This is why that placeholder on top was important. Because we don't just bring it down, it actually does change the sign in this case because a minus a negative becomes a positive. Lastly, -2 minus 10. -2 minus 10 is -12. And there's your answer. All right. Go ahead and try the next couple of problems on your own.